This is Jianda with mp3.com, and we are here with a live phone interview with Cyndi Lauper. You can find her music and her official homepage at cindylauper.com.
You can find it on Amazon. You could find it on at Borders, Virgin, Tower.
Yeah, everywhere.
All over, right.
Very cool. Well, so you are currently on tour doing some solo gigs and with Cher?
I'm doing gigs with Cher, and I was doing in-stores. I have like one in-store left in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, been out for like 6 months and almost toast, ready to stick a fork in myself and say, oh, it's done.
Yep.
I'm just, I think it's been really great. I've done a lot of wonderful things on this tour, and the music was received very well, and the CD was received very well, considering it was really just a little indie project.
Shine? Are you referring to Shine? Or?
Yeah, Shine, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Shine?
Well, it was a CD that was coming out on Adele, like 2 years ago, or a year ago, and a year ago. Just seems like more than that. And because so much has happened, and I had heard that they were going down. They were going to Enron themselves, as you say.
Yes.
Verb. And then they, as they were doing that, I was fighting to get my music back. And as I was playing live, I noticed that people were singing along to the unreleased stuff. And what made it even more interesting was as the numbers grew, the participation grew. The numbers as the gigs grew, the participation grew.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in a festival in Addison, Texas, outside of Dallas, there were 20,000 people singing along to Madonna 4. And I thought that was quite something. For them to be that audible, it just seemed like everyone was singing along to a song that was never released. So I thought that was amazing, and it was very inspiring to me. So I decided to put out a CD because I thought, well, it's a whole new world out there, and everything, all the rules have changed.
Right.
Everything's different now. So it's okay. So I did, I guess, what I would have never done. And I put out a little EP, little 5-song CD. Those were the songs, basically they were singing Shine, Hard to Be Me, Madonna Whore. And Water's Edge was one of my favorites, so I put it up. And that's basically how it started. And we were going to go out with Cher. I found out afterwards, and everything seemed to fall into place. We, my manager met some friends of hers that were working on ADA, out, their distribution company through Warner's, and it's out, and they hooked me up with this little label, Oleo, and so that's how we've been doing this.
Cool.
So we met with different people. I met with Borders and Virgin and Tower and different smaller record chains and music chains. And the guy from Borders was really great. They were all really great. But Borders really stepped up to the plate and put us on, worked out this whole, we did Borders all across this country.
Awesome.
And it was pretty amazing. And we did Tower. We did like 10 towers, 9 towers.
It's so nice that your music's being well received, especially coming out on your own terms and whatnot.
Well, I always came out on my own terms. Whether or not anybody knew I had anything out or not was another story. But I always felt that the thing that should be really important today, which is not, is integrity. But everybody has their own vision. you know.
Right.
So there's room for everything. For me, mine was a little different. So I guess I took the long route, but you know, I wanted it to be the kind of music that I felt inspired singing. Because if I don't feel inspired singing it, how the hell do you really and truly inspire anyone? You know, so I decided to do something as real as I could make it, as close to the bone as I could make it for me. So that's what I did. And it has been an amazing journey back to my fans and the people. You know, I do what I can. I mean, you know, it's not always perfect, but it's been pretty interesting for me as a writer and performer. You would hope that as you play the different venues, that you can actually come up with, you know, and you know, new experiences. And as you see people and you sing to them at night, that's one thing. But when you sing to them in the daylight, that's a totally different story. And it's almost like an old coffee house, you know. And so for me, it was a great thing to do. And you would hope that some of the way the people looked and the way they spoke and the way they smiled or their handshake or something about them would find its way into the work, which, you know, it always kind of does. There's always a bit of this and a bit of that. But I feel grateful to be able to have done it this way. And also, I'm very grateful that, you know, it's really just the back of the bus and not like Woody Guthrie, the back of a freaking boxcar train. I think I would freak out. I don't think I could take it.
Very cool. It's just a very, so it's a very personal project. And it seems like you're learning new things with this latest effort because you're kind of marketing it and distributing it in a new, unique way. I was also reading about Shine, that it's on an HRC compilation called Being Out Rocks. Have you done much promotion for that as well?
If it's the same project that I thought it was, it's for the
Human Rights Campaign.
Oh, I just thought that was a good thing, and they asked me to put on a certain thing, and I kept looking for a song, and I just figured this was better, and it was easier to get the rights, and so I did that. I think human rights are very important, no matter what. I always speak out about human rights. I don't know that I spoke out about that particular project. They have not contacted me to do that, so...
That's cool, though. I know there's information about it on your website at CyndiLauper.com if people want to check out that release as well. I wanted to ask you, too, about singing and performing, like how long you've been doing it. And, you know, you play a myriad of instruments and you produce and, you know, you do everything from photography to art direction and mixing. And I was just kind of wondering, you know, have you always had that bug to do performing and music?
I guess I could do something else, but it's not something I would want to do. So I continue to do what makes me happy and what I feel I'm best at. And the other things are just an extension of that. And, you know, I do play, you know, other instruments and not exactly Segovia on anything. But that's not why you play. You play for joy. And if it brings you joy and peace, then that is why you play music anyway. Right.
Some other things that I thought were really exceptional is you've done a lot of work with varied artists, such as I was reading you did some work with the Avalanches and Tricky and, you know, Billy Joel, Roger Waters, like very diverse people charting new ground, etc. How do you pick the projects that you work on as far as collaborating with other people?
Oh, well, sometimes you have to collaborate. I collaborate all the time anyway. I would rather collaborate with someone that has something that I love. With The Wall and doing the thing with Roger Waters, that was really because I had felt really strongly about, part of my heritage is German Swiss. And I had always felt, as a young kid growing up, embarrassed about being German because of Hitler.
Mm.
And when the wall came down and had the opportunity to dance on Hitler's grave, I thought that was something I really wanted to do. I mean, I even lied to I would have said anything to my record company president. In fact, he of course, I lied to him. He thought I was telling the truth about something, and then turned around with a really, as usual, messed up, screwed up answer. And I just thought to myself, yeah, okay, whatever. I want to do this project. I really don't give a fuck what you think. I just want to do this project. And the problem is, when you're tied up with other companies, if there's a label that, you have to cajole everybody just to get them to do something that is the humanely right thing to do anyway. And I thought the wall was a great thing to do. And in all my career, I didn't get a lot of chances to do a lot of things. I did do We Are the World, right, but I wanted to do other things that I never had time to do. And as my other friends were doing them, because I was friends with, studio musicians and, players, and they would be doing these things, and I would always think, God, everybody gets to work with these people, and I never get a chance to work with anybody. So I had really wanted to do it for a couple of reasons, and I had written Heading West with Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, and as the wall was going down, I kept humming that in my head, thinking, because I had gone to Russia during Perestroika to write with the writers and listen to their stories that they were telling me about if only, videos were legal, because they were illegal then in Russia to make videos. And if they could make a video, what it would be like. And as this fellow was telling me his dream of what the video would look like, I began writing down what he said and made lyrics out of it for him, so that he would at least have his vision partially seen, and I remembered that. And so as the wall was coming down, I was glad and kind of proud, and I wanted to be there, and I wanted to do that little jig on Hitler's grave. It was just a personal thing between me and, my German heritage, because also, as in any war, if you live in a country where the madman is the president, you suffer too. And there were a lot of people that suffered. And so that was something I wanted to do for a lot of reasons. And then and for all the people that wanted to escape that were shot, there's so many. That place had a lot of history. It was an amazing time. Right. So I was grateful to be able to take part in it, although I don't think that what I did was so spectacular. I had thought about it and thought about what I'd wear and what I would do that would be shocking, and, that was that. The other things, like working with Tricky, who wouldn't? I had always been a fan of his, and I know that when I went, when his record actually finally came out, he was telling people that I did go by his house and we worked, and I fixed the toilet. It was driving me crazy. It kept running and running. And I just lifted up the tank top and figured out what the hell was going on there. And I don't know. And then he doesn't do that stuff. So he just said, "Wow, she fixed the toilet."
Practical.
But it was just driving me crazy. I can never tell the difference between, those kind of drippy water fountains in your room, or the faucet that won't stop dripping, drives me crazy, or the toilet that keeps running. It's like
not conducive to
get on my nerves,
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That Tricky, you fixed Tricky's toilet. Hey, that's history.
Hey, and that's what he was telling everybody, But it was kind of wild when I got there because I thought I was just going to sing background, and he said, just write the part. And I said, usually, yeah, you write the background part, but it was like, and the lyrics too. And I was thinking, holy cow, test your skill. Okay, can I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do this, I guess, But it was odd, and it was fine.
Very cool.
It certainly was flattering to be able to work with him.
Cool.
So I think he's really a brilliant fellow, and he's very much, like an abstract impressionist when he works. So I coming from an art background, I thought that was a good thing.
Very unique.
To come like that,
Yeah. Yeah. Very unique artist, much like yourself. I was going to ask you, too, I had read that you named your son after Elvis Costello, like his real name, Declan.
Well, Elvis Costello's name is spelled A-N, D-E-C-L-A-N.
Okay.
And our son is D-E-C-L-Y-N.
Okay.
Because David, my husband, is of Scottish descent. So the Scot and I guess the Welsh way would be with a Y.
Mm.
It is a Gaelic name, and we thought it was magical, and we liked Elvis, and we said, yeah, and Elvis Costello, we love him, and his name is Declan, so it's a great name, and he's a great artist, so we thought, he's got, and also his middle name, Wallace, was after William Wallace.
Oh, okay.
And William Wallace, it was funny, David kept watching Braveheart and the music of Braveheart. Like he'd go in to talk to he'd be studying for a part and he uses music, and he'd have like Braveheart playing, And I don't know if you remember how the score was like da da da, and every time you went in to talk to him, like you'd walk in the room and be da da da, and be like, Dave, But you try not to like go in there too many times.
That's actors for you.
He was working out something, and so we named him after two great, English Scottish people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Declan McManus is not Scottish. I don't know if he's Scottish. McManus sounds Scottish to me, so maybe the two originally of Scottish descent.
Interesting.
But it was just, we thought Declan was going to be a girl.
Mm.
So we were thinking of names like Coco, like after Coco Chanel, and then, or Lulu.
Something artsy sounding.
What?
Something artsy sounding.
Well, without being too, you don't want them to be tortured in school.
Mm-hmm.
And Declan isn't that weird of a name.
No, it's a beautiful name. I'm wondering, is he doing anything musical or artistic right now, or he's just having fun being a little kid?
He plays the drums. He comes on stage with me once in a while, and
cool.
He's a good kid. He's I absolutely feel so blessed that I have this little family. Two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a guy house, but it's okay. It's cool. I mean, it figures, a bra burner from way back. Now I'm in a guy house. So it's like, somebody said, okay, fine, you know about the woman stuff now, learn about the guys.
Yep, they're your guys, so it's all right.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky to be part of that. It's different for me because I didn't understand anything. And now I have to learn about so many things.
Never a dull moment, I imagine.
No, never.
I was going to talk about going back to your tour. I'm hearing lots of really good feedback about it. I'm hearing that you're singing better than ever, and it's a really great performance, and that you're putting a lot of energy and work into it. And I'm wondering how much longer you're going to be touring, and what songs are you singing? Are you singing, songs from Shine?
I sing new songs and old songs.
Mm-hmm.
I try and mix them up. I think the album that really doesn't get showcased at all would be There's nothing from Hat Full of Stars.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get everything in there, and I only have an hour, so, it's like get in, get out.
Right, right. Very cool. Well, I know it's being well received, so it's so nice that you've had such a diverse, many flavors of music, many styles like ballads, punk styles, reggae styles, rock, pop.
Well, actually, I'm just playing American music. It's an American genre because in America, everybody comes to America, and so that integration makes our music richer. So I like to include it. I include all the music that I love, and I think that's very American. I think that we have the African American rhythms that we have always had. That was the birth of rock. Then we had hip hop, and that changed rock forever. That was like the rebirth of rock for me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always a combination. It doesn't really matter one way or the other because it's all rhythm based, and everything has a rhythm. No matter what it is, has a rhythm.
Right.
And if you find the center of that rhythm, then that's the extraordinary place. That's where all the magic starts and stops and is alive. And I go right there. So I have to include all those things for the music for me to be alive. I make a very specific, I guess, when you hear it, I guess it's me.
Right.
But I try not to really just repeat myself over and over. And the things that I work on they always reflect something in our life,
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
I try and reflect the time that we live in.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely always a thread of real, intimate, a lot of people I've heard and I feel that listen to your music feel like they know you, or if it's just a very familiar feeling. So that definitely comes through.
Well, that's sweet. I mean, hey, to know me is, I don't know, it's a lot to live with.
Lots of flavor. That's what life is all about, is flavor. So you've got many different flavors. Speaking of, I actually wanted to ask you a question, kind of a superficial question, but I have never seen a bad photo of you or a boring photo of you.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Oh, I've seen some. Woo,
no,
really
no, because you come original, and you always have different styles, and whether it's a glamour photo or just something that's really punked out. So I was kind of curious. Did you ever go to a design school or art school, or that's just Cyndi?
Yeah. I flunked out of fashion industries, high school. Then I got my revenge in the 80s, and then they deserved it, but then afterwards, I had gone to art school for a while.
Yeah.
And, my family was in the rag business. They were in the industry. They were cutters, and my uncle was a designer, and my grandfather worked on the big machines, cutting machines. So.
That makes sense. Because always the lighting's right, or the clothing's unique, or just there's always something striking about it to me. So I was curious.
I worked with a lot of stylists too, and a lot of people that I had a team of people, and in the beginning, Laura Wills would put together a lot of stuff. In the very beginning, I would just go through her store, and then afterwards, like in the True Colors stuff, she started to really work on the clothes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really, that was important. And that was kind of she did a lot of amazing things. But, now I work with a French girl, and I know what I'm going to get because, you can talk to them. She knows fashion history, and I pull things from history and I push it around, and that's what I do because I think that fashion changes all the time anyway, and it always takes from the history. And I personally love certain parts of history. fashion, and that's what I take a lot of the stuff from.
Very cool. I'll ask you a couple more questions, and then I'll let you get back to your vibe today. Another thing that was on your website that was cool is you have like a whole section of cover songs, like people that have covered your songs and covers you've done. And I was kind of curious to see what your favorite cover song is, as in, someone that's covered one of your songs, if any.
There's a lot of great songs in the world. I think, I guess because it's not as known, but my favorite one that I enjoyed singing was Across the Universe. It is a wonderful song. And I know that Sean and Rufus Wainwright Jr. Have a version out that's really beautiful. And I think that there are certain songs that just bring you peace and make you feel better. And those are songs I enjoy singing. All Through the Night is a great cover.
Yep.
That True Colors is a great one. Money Changes Everything, that also was not mine. Change Your Heart I did a lot of work on, but I enjoyed that song for what I always felt it was a good song. I think Girls was a good song. Both of them.
I know there's so many. There's a lot of great ones.
There's a lot of good songs that I covered. I wouldn't have covered it if I hated it.
Right.
There are songs that I covered that I had to cover, and I had to make them have a life. In doing that, in finding a new life and a new voice in that particular song that was someone else's voice, to find your voice within it is always the best thing to do with any song that you cover, is always to interpret and find a new meaning, a new feel, whole. It's always good to find that for yourself when you're singing, so that it really and truly is an empowering, very strong song. Or the way it was made you feel empowered, so you do it like that. I don't know. It really depends on the performer. There are some really great old standards that I've always loved. And,
plus you have like a couple Christmas albums, and those are, in a sense,
the Christmas album. I had one Christmas album. Then the record company that I left repackaged and put some B-sides and made a pretty crummy one.
Okay.
But the one is Merry Christmas, Have a Nice Life. That's the Christmas album that I made. That's the one Christmas album that I made.
Cool.
And that has all the Christmas songs on it. It's all Christmas songs.
Cool.
And the other one with the really bad photo of me when I was nursing my baby, that's they repackaged and put out, has some B-sides that aren't Christmas songs at all, and
that's
doesn't even make sense.
That's a hack. Okay, so don't get that one.
No, I'm just saying that one is, I didn't even understand that one.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to another question I was going to ask, actually, is, there's the music business, the business part of the music business. Who handles that with you or for you, or how do you kind of surf through that whole part of things?
That's tough for me. I really don't get along with suits. I think that it's been part of what really took our business down. There are people in the industry that artists work that really do not like the artists, and they do not like music. And the fact that they're in the business in the first place, to me, is a dreadful mistake. And then there are people that are really great. There are some really great people in the industry, and those are the people that you always wish to work with. Those are the ones you want to... It's not about them. They're not... they don't want to be the artist. They love making music. They love their job. And those are people you want to work with. those are people you want to talk to, because it's really about the outcome of that particular project that you're working on. Everybody rolls up their sleeves. Nobody's the diva.
Right.
Certainly, I can't be.
Right.
Because if I am, then I totally sabotaged my own thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to have somebody else be the diva and sit there and go, my God, I chose not to do that, and you have to act like that. It's like a little beyond me. So there are situations that stink, and then there are other great situations. So I finally found a manager who gets me, who understands what the heck I'm talking about. And, and she takes care of that. Lisa Barbarese does that. And,
right.
And it makes it easier, and then, she can suss through, and the people that are the genuine folks I can meet, and we can do something. But sometimes I just get tired. I'm so tired of people very impressed with themselves, because, that stuff comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever accolades. It's not about the accolades, because they come and go.
Right.
And then it doesn't mean anything.
Indeed. Thank you for giving us a little window into that.
Well, that's mine. It's not necessarily what other people feel. It's just how I feel. I'm very passionate and very intense, and I feel very strongly about my ideals and integrity and other people's integrity. Integrity is really important in this day and age for me. It's something I want to pass on to other generations and to my son and our son. And I think that my husband has a lot of integrity also, and as a person, and that's important. You don't want to be, when it came time to make the quick buck, I didn't do it. I didn't think that was a good thing. I didn't think there were certain people I didn't want to do business with. There were certain things I didn't want to do because I didn't think it had any integrity, or I didn't have enough time to do it in the right way, so I didn't do it.
Very cool. I'm sure that's why you're still around today. Much respect, Much respect. My last question for you is, I was just wondering what's coming up in the future for you. I read that you're doing a little Dr. Pepper spot, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I did that already. I guess they're going to air it in January.
Cool.
I don't know exactly when. I guess around the Super Bowl time. And that turned out to be fun. I mean, when I could drink soda, I was drinking Dr. Pepper because I like it.
Uh-huh.
And we would always drink that when we went on vacation in the South.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibbs. And so because of that, I wanted to, I thought it'd be fun to do. And it was fun. I had a good time. I did it with Anastasia. She was a nice girl.
Fun.
And we had fun doing it.
Yeah.
And as long as it was a good time, it's great.
Yeah.
And I also did, we're going to put out a live DVD and a CD in the spring.
Cool.
And then I'm going to work on my album and finally put out the finished product, as opposed to, just 5 songs.
Cool. When can we expect that?
At the end of 2003.
Cool. Very cool. Well, I know people can keep up to date with you by visiting your website. And if you have any parting words for people waiting for stuff from you, feel free to share that with us.
I'm moving along as fast as I can. And it was great to hook up with you guys again.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really happy that I was able to see you guys, and I'm gonna be actively working on keeping in touch.
Cool. Very cool. We wish you continued success.
Oh, thank you. I'm very fortunate. I have a wonderful band. It's always joyful working with them, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That I can do is to keep my music joyful for me,
Yeah, people definitely feel that. So we're blessed as well.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll stay in touch with you, and meanwhile, have a good rest of your tour.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Getting down to the countdown now. December 19th. Oh.
Right on. Right on. All right. Well, take care of yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.